I'm Virginia, and I am the owner and CEO of Witch Bitch, also creative director.
I'm Eva. I'm the COO of Witch Bitch Thrift and owner as well. So we started online in the middle of the pandemic in September of 2020. Virginia had been looking through her closet, being very bored, being like having nothing to do because you're just sitting at home waiting to be able to go outside again. And she was looking at all of her cool clothes that she never wears because it's like, you know, you gotta wait for the special occasion to wear this like really cool clothing, right? And she's like,
In that moment, the special occasion is that I was still alive. I woke up one morning, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like sitting at my desk, like, thinking about, wouldn't it be cool to like have like a little online thrift shop and make it accessible and make it plus size friendly and make it witchy and make it cool? Because honestly, I thought that most thrift shops are boring and kind of and also not plus size friendly at all. Like I would go in and there was like 2 things in my size and be like, okay, cool. So all those things were like very tough, and I was like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool to do that? And it was kind of like a jokey joke in my head for a second there. I was like, what would I call it? And then I was like, Witch. And then like it took me like 2 seconds to be like, yeah, Witch Bitch Thrift. That sounds so cool. And it was like a second of like, wait, that's actually really cool. It probably already exists. So I go Google it and I'm like, oh, okay. And I Google it and it doesn't exist. So I panic entirely and I'm like, oh, what if someone thinks about it in the next 2 minutes? I cannot let them take this away from me. I had this idea first. So I had a panic, like, bought all the domains I could, signed up for every social media with that handle, and I was just like, I gotta do this now because like it's now or never. It has to happen. And it was like a panic, like a movie scene of just. And then like after I was done and I signed up for everything and I made everything and I like sat back and I was like, what just happened?
We started on Instagram and we started by posting like 20 pieces a week. And that evolved into us doing our first like pop-up in front of a store in Bridgeport. So we got a first official like office space. Then everybody heard that we had a space and they're like, oh, you have a place where all of your inventory is all together, hung up? That's crazy.
Like, could I come over?
Could I come over for like an appointment or anything?
Can I come look at this?
Can I come look at all these clothes? So this 400 square foot space that was supposed to be an office on a 2nd floor up a flight of stairs with no elevator became a storefront.
Like the most obscure building in Bridgeport. It was so hard to find.
And we became a storefront that people would like actively have to go and search for.
We need to have an actual like shop. So then we
needed like an actual storefront that's easy to find, that you can see from a street.
It's very tough to be a woman in business, and let alone women that are queer, trying to work towards like body liberation and like all these like other things that we do that we definitely had been ghosted before and discarded and just ignored. And you know, we had received a lot of that from other people in that search.
What we were looking for was a space to be a flagship location, to be able to perfect this and really figure out how we want to have a storefront set up, because we hadn't had a real one before, and be able to replicate it and move and have multiple locations. And January 13th, we had our official opening, and
it's been a year now.
It's been a year now. People are loving it. We're doing what we've always done, which is coming up with new ways to display things, coming up with new ideas.
And now the Black Box has been around for about 6 months, and like it's a really cool like interactive space, and we do all sorts of events here. We do all sorts of classes and shows and little club meetings, you name it. So that's been really cool too, to just kind of, it kind of became a whole different business basically. Like it's a whole different operation to run the events and do that, and that's been like a cool way to connect to
becoming like a community space within New Haven.
To become a community space. We don't sort things by like male, like men's and women's sections or whatever. We just sort things by type because clothes have no gender and it doesn't matter. So we sort things by type, but we also have our own size chart because when you're dealing with secondhand clothing, things have been stretched and moved, and also brands have very arbitrary like opinions on what a certain size really looks like. So to kind of eliminate that issue for our customers, we created our own size chart. This has been since the beginning of the business, really. And we hand measure every piece that's on the floor, and we sort them according to what they actually fit like.
And even like the extra small sizes, like we try to include as small as, I think the smallest we've gotten is like extra small, and we like include that within our size chart as well, because it shouldn't, like, yes, obviously we're both plus size and we want to like advocate for the plus size community, but size inclusivity means both ends of the spectrum, and it can be very hard for people that are very small to find clothing that isn't just like
children's clothing.
Child's like princess shirt or something, like, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, people might like that, but also, people might also want some different clothing.
Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
want adult clothing.
Yeah, I just need it to be small.
Yeah.
The people. Oh. There's so many cool people here. It's like, I did not think that New Haven would be as, like, I knew it was cool and like a big city, like there's Yale here, and I feel like that's the main thing. People think, like, when you're not in Connecticut or even like on the East Coast, you hear New Haven, you're like, oh yeah, that's where Yale is, right? That's like that big Ivy League. But like, no,
I'd be like, yes,
different. And well, yeah. No, it's more of like, no, it's not just that. It's more of a yes and.
Yeah, the people are really great and so connected.
Yeah.
There's so many different communities and groups and things and gatherings, and people care a lot about things in New Haven. Like, people are very passionate about all sorts of stuff, not one thing. Like, and that is so encouraged, and it's so celebrated. I feel like there's a celebration of individuality in New Haven that I love seeing, that I feel like the community in Bridgeport wasn't ready for. In our eyes, like, I feel like once we came here, everybody's like, Witch Bitch sounds great.